Hi there, you're right on time. I was just about to calibrate my thermometer. You know, ensuring our food is safe for customers is a really important job, and an easy one, as long as you have the proper tools. The most important tool is a calibrated thermometer. Calibrated is food safety talk for accurate. If a thermometer isn't accurate, it's not much good to use, so it's our job to check it prior to putting it into use. It's common for a thermometer to lose accuracy. We call this falling out of calibration. This can happen when it falls on the floor or table too many times, or just from using it a lot throughout the day. And if you're using a digital thermometer, low battery may be another cause. So how do you put a thermometer back into calibration when it falls out? Great question. Let me show you. All we need is an ice water bath and a thermometer holder, or jacket as I like to call it. An ice water bath is what we food service people refer to as a cup of water with ice in it. Fill a cup half full with ice and add cold water. Place the thermometer stem through the thermometer jacket like this. Place the thermometer in the ice water bath, give it a little stir, and wait for about 30 seconds, just until the dial on the thermometer head stops moving. If the thermometer head reads between 30 and 34 degrees Fahrenheit, your thermometer is calibrated. If not, twist the calibration nut located under the dial using the thermometer jacket. With the thermometer immersed in the ice water bath, move the dial to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. In segment 1 of the food safety module, we covered ordering, receiving, and storing. If you missed that segment, don't worry, your trainer will show you how to access it later. Because now, it's time to move on to the really fun parts, preparing and selling. We're about to prepare food for our customers. So before we start, let's make sure we're food service ready. I just finished washing my hands, and I remembered to leave my bracelet at home today, so there's no chance of it falling into someone's food order. Hair pulled back and hat on, check. Safety shoes on, and my uniform is clean. Now that's food service ready. First up, we'll need to set up our station with a sanitizer solution and clean towels. We'll fill the sanitizer bucket with a mix of sanitizer solution and warm water. Using the 3-compartment sink for this makes it easy, as the sanitizer and water are pre-mixed to the perfect strength, 100 parts per million, just in case you're interested. Place 1 or 2 clean towels in the bucket and carry it with you out to the food service area. You'll use the towels in this bucket to wipe up spills and other messes as they occur, and also to wipe down counters and equipment between tasks. Next, let's set up the 3-compartment sink. We'll keep the sink set up all day long, so it's always ready for doing dishes. As the day goes on, the water will cool down, and as we do dishes, it will get dirty, so it's important to check on the setup frequently throughout the day. As needed, we'll drain the sink and reset it up to ensure optimal food safety. The wash water should be hot, but not so hot that it burns your hands. 110 degrees or hotter is the goal. Activate the soap and fill the left sink about 1/3 full. The rinse water should be hot as well, also about 110 degrees or hotter. Fill the middle sink about 1/3 full. The sanitizer water should be warm, at least 75 degrees. Activate the sanitizer and fill the right sink 1/3 full. Yesterday, we pulled product from the freezer so that it would thaw overnight. We call that process slacking, a very important step in preparing some of the products we sell here. For example, hot dogs. The best way to slack product is in the refrigerator for a minimum of 24 hours. So let me ask you a question. What if we forgot to slack hot dogs yesterday, and there were only frozen ones available for us right now? Could we thaw them quickly by leaving them on the counter at room temperature? No, this is what we would call time temperature abuse. Instead, we would have to thaw them under cold, running water. As long as they're in a sealed package, this is okay. It does mean we would have to monitor the temperature regularly, and it would cause us to not have product for a couple hours. If someone accidentally turns off the water, it could cause the food to be temperature abused. So let's hope we never have to thaw food under running water. Before we go all the way over to the walk-in, let's gather the following tools. We'll need a transfer pan with lid, a holding container with lid, FIFO stickers, and a pen. Only take what is needed to accommodate shift needs. Taking more than necessary may lead to wasted product later in the day. When opening bags, if all the contents are not needed, transfer what isn't needed into an approved container with a lid. Write the discard date and time on a FIFO sticker and attach it to the container. Place the container on the shelf in front so that it will be used next. The process of using the oldest item first is what we call FIFO, and it stands for first in, first out. When taking an entire bag, there is no need to transfer the remaining bags to a container. As long as they are sealed, keep them in their original packaging. Carry the product you'll be preparing to the appropriate food service area. There are millions of germs in the air, and most of them would love to hitch a ride on the food products en route to the food service area. So help keep the food safe by keeping it covered. If you're not going to be cooking the product right away, mark the discard date and time on a FIFO sticker and attach it to the container. Then, place the container in a reach-in refrigerator or freezer in the kitchen area. Don't forget to use FIFO. The countertop? That's what we call food contact surface. And these tongs and spatulas? Their official name is utensils. We want to make sure both are clean before we start preparing food. And when you need to clean a food contact surface, use a towel from your sanitizer bucket. The solution in this bucket will get dirty as you use it, so change it as needed, at least every 4 hours. How else can we ensure food stays safe during preparing? That's right, by following personal hygiene guidelines. Never eat or drink in the food preparation areas. Oh, and no gum chewing either. Handle food as little as possible. Make sure you wash your hands and put on new disposable gloves whenever you enter food service areas. Following these best practices are easy ways you can guard against cross-contamination. This is a good time to discuss cross-contamination. That sounds pretty serious, doesn't it? And it is. It occurs when something that shouldn't be there gets in or on food. For example, when bacteria naturally found in chicken touches a roll. Bacteria from chicken should never be on a roll. So how do we keep that from happening? By making sure food that won't be cooked is kept far away from raw food that still needs to be cooked. How about sneezing on a pan of pickles on the way to the condiment bar? Not only is that just disgusting, it's another example of cross-contamination. Really now, if you have to sneeze, sneeze on your arm, and then go wash your hands and put on new disposable gloves. And by all means, put down the pickles first. Every food item we prepare at Dash-In has a job aid that goes with it. The job aid explains practically everything about the product: ingredients, cooking time and temperature, how to sell it. Yep, job aids are very important. There's a lot to remember, so while preparing food, use the job aids. They're there to help until you've memorized the recipes. In this way, you'll be sure that food tastes delicious, is cooked to the proper temperature, and that it meets customer expectations every time. Working in the food service area means you'll do a good amount of multitasking. But don't get distracted while preparing food. We want to stay on task to ensure we move food quickly through the temperature danger zone. We do this by prepping the food, cooking it, and placing it into hot or cold holding right away. I just introduced another food safety term, the temperature danger zone. What is the temperature danger zone, you ask? 41 to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. It is called the temperature danger zone because when foods sit at these temperatures, bacteria grow at rapid speeds, making the food unsafe to eat in just a couple hours. Some people think that cooking or chilling food is all we need to do to kill bacteria, but actually, with many types of bacteria, this is not the case. Food that has been left out in the temperature danger zone too long will still cause a food-borne illness if eaten, even if you cook it or chill it. When food is left to sit in the temperature danger zone too long, we call this time temperature abuse. And time temperature abused food should never be sold or eaten. If you're unsure of whether or not food has been time temperature abused, discard it. Record it on the waste sheet and then notify your manager. Remember, when in doubt, throw it out. So let's recap. We reviewed our goal to ensure we had the right amount of food slacked and ready. We prepared our hot food products using the job aids, and it's right now safely in the hot holding case with a time code. All that's left to do now is sell it. This is my favorite part of food safety, where all of our hard work and attention comes to action. Why? Because, well, you know what they say, a full customer is a happy customer. And to add to that, only happy customers become loyal customers. And at Dash In, customer loyalty is where it's at. Let's go, the lunch crowd won't wait on us forever. Ensuring proper holding time and temperature of prepared food are so important to keeping food safe and quality high. That's why we use time code stickers and logs. The food may be in hot holding, but it's not ready to be sold until it's marked with a time code. We call this time code the holding time, and it tells us how long the food may be available to sell before we have to discard it, throw it away. Holding times vary depending on the product, so check the product job aid for additional information. In most cases, prepared food in hot holding lasts just a couple of hours, whereas prepared food in cold holding lasts a couple of days. Place food into the proper holding case as soon as it's ready for service. Remember to follow FIFO here as well. Never mix old and new products on the condiment bar. We also use FIFO when replacing items at the condiment bar. We just use it a little differently, by switching out containers when the items are getting low. Place the new container into the holding case and discard the items in the old container. Never mix old and new products together. Why not? Because they have different expiration times. The items from the old container will expire first, but if you mix them with the newer items, you won't know what's what. Whenever you're walking by, check the temperatures of the cold and hot holding cases. They're equipped with thermometers, so just look at the dial. The condiment bar and cold holding cases should be set at 34 to 38 degrees, and the hot holding case should be set at 150 to 160 degrees. If a case isn't holding the correct temperature, notify your manager right away. The unit could need service. Take the temperature of the products in the cases, and if they are not holding their correct temperature, that's right, throw them away and mark them on your waste sheet. Speaking of taking product temperatures, you'll want to do this a couple times during the shift, even if the holding cases seem to be working properly. Remember to use a clean, calibrated thermometer for this. The internal temperature of cold food must be 40 degrees or less, and the internal temperature of hot food must be 140 degrees or more. When the temperature isn't right, take the products out of holding and... you got it. Throw it away and record the items on the waste sheet. There are a few reasons why the items in holding may not stay at the proper temperature. It could be because the holding case isn't set at the proper temperature, or because the food has been held in the case too long. Make a point to find out why, and take action to keep it from happening again. In the food safety world, we call this taking corrective action. You may decide to adjust the temperature settings on the holding case, or to prepare less of an item more often, just so it doesn't sit in holding too long. Remember what I said earlier about full customers being happy customers and happy customers becoming loyal? Let's grow loyalty one customer at a time. One way we may do this is by ensuring our food looks and tastes delicious. How? It's easy. Just follow the job aid. It will guide you step by step to preparing a delicious finished product. Another way is by having a wide variety of items available for customers. You've heard the saying, one size doesn't fit all, right? In our case, this means customers' tastes vary. We've got this covered. Just on our grill alone, we have sausages, hot dogs, and tornadoes in different sizes and with different flavors. Don't even get me started on what we have in our bakery case. The point is, keep a wide variety available of food items for sale. And a third way is by keeping containers and cases full. No one wants the last hot dog rolling on the grill all by itself, right? And a condiment bar that is full and fresh of toppings is so appetizing. Oh, is it lunchtime yet? I'm getting hungry. Just keep in mind, it's not enough to have a full roller grill or bakery case. The food on or in it has to be safe. This means marking prepared items with a holding time and making sure the items are sold before the holding time expires. Knowing how much to prepare and at what time of day takes anticipating customer needs, which can be a little tricky. Looking at shift goals and forecast sheets will help you decide what is needed, and that, coupled with team insight and experience, will steer you to success. Finally, show customers how fresh, delicious, and safe our food is by keeping the food service areas clean. Wipe down countertops and equipment throughout the day, and take the utensils and holding containers to the 3-compartment sink for a good cleaning at least every 4 hours. Your customers will thank you with their loyalty. Delicious. This concludes segment 2 of food safety. We've covered a lot. Are you ready to go practice? Excellent. I'm confident you'll do a great job. After you've watched segment 1 and you feel you're ready, be sure to complete the food safety assessment. Score 90% or better to gain certification in this module.